Hey guys, welcome to Talking Strongman. This week's episode is with the new strongman sensation from Scotland, one and only the bulldozer, Andy Black. What's going on there?
How you getting on? Oh, the dog's decided to get vocal. Like, never makes a noise and then, oh, is that Laurence he's talking to over there?
He recognises my voice. What can I say?
Yeah, you must have kicked him last time you seen him. What are you doing? Shush.
I had Jeff Capes on, and his dog was going off on there as well.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, maybe it's
How
a
you doing,
voice.
mate? You feeling good?
Yeah, good. Feel good after the weekend. So,
well, let's start with the weekend. You just did your first Giants live show in front of an awesome crowd with some incredible athletes. How did that feel? Taking Amazing. It, I mean, pointing out to everyone, he took it on 2 days' notice.
Yeah, phoned me on Thursday night and asked if I could be there Friday lunchtime for an athletes meeting and stuff. So, yeah, it was good. Yeah, no, I absolutely loved it. That's obviously that's the goal to do that regular. So there was no way I was saying no. I knew some of the events would be good for me, some might not, but the strongman in it. Sometimes you've got a strength, sometimes you've got a weakness, but you as well just going and finding out.
I just love how you sort of just took the opportunity, because loads of people, especially these days, feel like they need to prepare 12, 16 weeks for big shows. Yeah. But sometimes you do just, I mean, you're training strongman all the time. Mm-hmm. You're on the way up. You've got to be ready to take those opportunities, especially when you're on the way up.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not always easy. You don't just have this kind of perfectly linear kind of graph that you just get better and better. You kind of got to take these opportunities. You go up and down, but you took it with open arms, mate, and you absolutely smashed it.
Honestly, I would do it again this weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that was the biggest thing I was worried about was I just obviously finished a block of kind of heavier deadlifts and I'd failed a 420. And that was like maybe a month ago. And since then, I've not been above 300 kilo in an actual raw.
You failed 420.
Failed 420, yeah.
Wow. So,
yeah, I mean, I took it the same way 1,000 pounds. That's how far I failed it. It came to my knees and then there was no more.
Yeah.
So I was a bit worried. Obviously, I'd only been on an axle for the last 4 or 5 weeks since that. Barely above 300, just doing reps ready for the Scottish. And obviously, the recovery's done me justice. So, yeah, everything kind of works out.
You were up in Scotland with me. You were doing the nickel stones. You did the heavy nickel stones, picking them up.
Yeah, that's right. We've done them.
And then you got within a whisker of breaking the world record of nickel stones. That was damn close.
Close enough to be very frustrating.
You're going to try and... You've got a chance to break that again coming up, haven't you?
Saturday. Yeah.
This Saturday, is it?
This Saturday. There's another wee gathering kind of competition-y thing, so...
It's just non-stop right now.
Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it?
And then you've got the qualifier, I guess, for the Giants.
Well, we've got Scotland's Strongest Man, yeah. Yeah,
be doing that?
Yeah, September 11th, I'll be there.
Defend your title?
Two-time Scotland's Strongest Man, and then move into, hopefully, Giants the following weekend. So
just something
busy.
Every weekend right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're at a stage where you just got to take those opportunities.
Definitely.
And I think next year you're going to be getting, invites early to do these.
Yeah, I hope so. That's obviously the goal, to kind of be a bit more... not selective, but forward plan about your training. Know that if you've got 2 or 3 giant shows coming up within a time frame, at least you're touching all the events. At least
Yeah.
But just now, like Dale and Andy are the kind of same opinion as me. Strong. You don't need to be training farmers every week if you're good at farmers. If you get good grip, you should be moving every week anyway. You should be doing your yoke. You should be doing your sandbag conditioning work. So it doesn't really matter what they give you on the day, does it?
I agree with you. Absolutely. If you're strong, you're strong. And if you're good at moving, you can jump in and it's...
And adapt.
Yeah. I think sometimes we want to have like this perfect prep for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you can overtrain by doing that.
You can overthink it as well. You can look at... We run a couple of wee like novice comps and inters comps in our gym. See the inboxes you get. What height will this be? The farmers, how thick are the handles? You're not trying to be rude, but just don't worry about it. Just come along, train whatever farmers you've got. That's what you're going to train with anyway.
Yeah.
So just come, it'll be fine.
I used to have this conversation with JF Caron all the time, because we used to do a lot of shows where we wouldn't even get told the events.
Yeah.
And, neither of us ever cared about the height of a platform or the width of something. It's just if like you say, if you're strong, you'll cross over. And then it's about sometimes just being able to adapt and pick up different kit and just understand little subtleties. But that's what's great about doing lots of comps, especially kind of in that learning phase.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you have progressed exceptionally fast.
It's been insane, absolutely insane. I'd say especially more the last 12 months have just been like.
Well, let's go back to the start, because I mean, is it true you've only been training 2 years?
Yeah, so literally, like, loads of people ask me, "Oh, that can't be true." Go onto my Instagram, you will see just over 2 years ago, me pulling 250 off the floor, a couple of months into the gym with no form, with no skill, or it's just pure luck.
A lot of people won't believe you. I will, because I was that kind of person that just was naturally pretty strong.
Yeah.
Just a big lump, not really, not bodybuilding type. I didn't have big shoulders or kind of like my upper body strength wasn't so good, but I just had that natural ability to lift things off the floor, strong grip, and move with things. And I noticed that with you straight away. I mean, you've been training and you've got a lot better, but it's clear to see you've got the right frame, the right kind of genetics to be good at a strongman.
Yeah.
And I know Terry Holland thinks the same. I know.
Everybody's been fantastic with us. So many guys that are used to watching at comps are giving you like solid advice, just little bits. Everybody's got a wee bit to give you, and it kind of pays off. Obviously, I was training with John Pollock for a good kind of year.
Well, let's go back to that. Let's go to the very, very start. What got you into Strongman?
So I joined the gym, obviously, try and lose a bit of weight. That was the goal. Lost a wee bit of weight, lost some of the kind of chub, the kind of lazy dad bastard side of it. And then gym training's boring. That's horrific. See, just your benching and your squatting and just deadlifting and sitting on a bloody, I don't even know, whatever machine Limitless Gym had or whatever we were. It just wasn't. I'd always watched Strongman and I didn't believe I could do that. So, wanting to just get strong, I contacted Spartan Atlas Stones, and I thought, I'm going to get a wee Atlas Stone, I'm going to try that. Didn't know the weights of stuff. So my first stone was 155, and Jason was like, nah, it's too heavy. And I was like, it'll be fine, it'll be all right. So this stone came in for 2 weeks, I stared at it. How the fuck do you pick this up? And then he's like, have you got tacky? What's tacky? Like, go and get yourself tacky. Next night, I've got the stone up and I'm doing a few reps for the stone, and he was just like, you need to train proper. Like, it's not funny, Andy. You need to train.
Yeah.
He put us on to Ben Brunning. He kind of gave us a kind of basic program, gym lists through the week, events on a Saturday. Just get going with it. And then 3 months later, I done my first comp. I won that. Another 2 months, I done another comp. Another 2 months, I done another comp. And just absolutely fell in love with it. Aye.
That's amazing. Like, I know a lot of people won't believe you that you kind of get to this level in 2 years. I mean, there's a good chance by next year you could get to World's Strongest Man.
I'd love that. That's obviously the goal.
Training, you're at World's Strongest Man. That's incredible.
Yeah, it would be good, but try and get a week's notice to a Giants comp first, I think.
Well, I think if you go and win Scotland's, you'll qualify obviously for the Giants Live the week after, but I also think you'll get an invite to Britain's.
Yeah, that's the goal, to get to Britain's.
Yeah, and then Britain's is the chance to really show.
Well, Britain's is a strong crowd when you look at, obviously we've got Scotland's strongest man Tom just now, we've got Bishop, Luke Richardson when he's back healthy. We've got a good, if you can come top 5 in British, I'm not far off the mark.
Britain's is incredible, the standard of that. If you can get top 5 at Brits this year, that is a hell of an achievement, because the top 5 British guys are all absolute world class.
Oh, definitely. Any one of them could be world's strongest man on the right day with the right events.
I mean, you just have to look at Tom. Tom is incredible. Tom hasn't won Britain's Strongest Man yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Bish obviously won the last Britain's. You've got, when he's back, Luke Richardson, like you say. Hicksy's unbelievable. You've got Luke Stoltman. And then you've got like Gav, Parr, yourself, Paul Smith, and just a whole host of other brilliant athletes trying to knock onto that card. So it's gonna be tough. I mean, you know, it's hard to see how many guys they're going to invite, who's going to do it. There's always going to be people you think, they should have got a chance, because there's so many of a high standard now in Britain. But
I've kind of got in my head, I don't care who's there or what the events are. I'm going to. It's everything, you know. Brits is the goal. Absolutely, that's the first major goal. Get to Brits. If anything comes up before that, definitely. You know, we've obviously got Europe's next week. See if they want to phone me on Saturday morning, I will be there.
You'll be there
with the equipment and ready to go. But obviously, I'd like to get the opportunity to properly prep for Britain's Strongest Man and actually not just come out and get a well done for doing that on short notice. Get a fucking well done. You trained for that and you deserved your top 5, your top whatever. That's the goal.
Wait, what were you, 7th on the weekend?
7th, yeah. That's
incredible. You know, it's a strong lineup. To come 7th in that lineup, you've got to be happy with that.
You ever happy with 7th? Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, that is true. I think we're never, you know, you're happy for like a split second, and then it's like, I want more.
All I was thinking is, what, you know, I love Gav. Obviously, me and Gav are quite good friends now. We've got on well at UK's. We've got on since then. But Gav was like kind of my attainable target. Do you know what I mean? He was the guy that I should have been chasing, and that's all day. That's all I was thinking about, is just beat Gav by half a point. And it's not about actually beating Gav as a person. It's just, you know, he's done a few shows now. He's a benchmark, you know, and then after Gav, you're chasing whoever was 2 points ahead of Gav, you know. That's just work your way up that ladder. But yeah, I was happy to be there. I was happy to pull a big deadlift. I was happy to get top 4 in a couple of events. So, yeah.
How does it feel pulling 425 kilos and coming joint last on a deadlift?
Crazy, isn't it? How does that happen? How the fuck does that happen?
Mental. That was one of the most insane deadlift competitions I've ever seen.
Everybody was just... So many guys wanted that £1,000 and they thoroughly deserved it. I mean, it was insane.
You gave £1,000 a good crack, mate. You got it up to your knees.
Obviously didn't want it enough. Obviously never wanted it enough.
Watching that, you've made me believe that you're going to do it.
I'll do it. Like, it'll happen the next time it has to happen.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe, see if we could have picked a jump, 435 to 440, I genuinely believe I could have roughed a lockout.
Yeah.
But, you know, just that extra 13 kilos already, 15 kilo above my current PB is what I took. So,
I mean, you were
one of the ones.
Obviously, I was there watching. You were nervous as hell before that.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
Do you know what? It wasn't even the crowd. That never really bothers you, even at Ultimates. It didn't bother us. It was knowing that I hadn't had a deadlift prep and knowing that the opening bar was 400. The minute I got to the stadium, remember they came over and told me I was first up. You know, it was going to be like a long wait from the warm-up, and it was just things that I'm not used to. I'd never done, I'd never pulled pulled 360 and waited half an hour. Never mind done it in front of 5,000-6,000 people, and how many ever watching on live stream.
It was
and so in my head, I was like, do not bomb the opening lift. Do not be that guy.
I mean, 400 kilos opening lift. Really, it's not that embarrassing if you bomb it. But it was hilarious watching.
It would have sucked.
It was hilarious watching you and Dale in the warm-ups. Dale McPherson, obviously coaching you. Great lad, great person to be around. But him badgering you to get that rep done, I was cracking up because I've got that experience. I know there's a long wait between that deadlift and then, you know, going out doing
I think me and Dale were talking about it. I think there was a bit of miscommunication. He was thinking that it was going to be a lot less, where I was trying to be the last guy to touch the bar. You know, you don't care about anybody else's warm-ups. That's up to them. I was wanting to touch the bar and ideally go and do the walkout. But Dale was just wanting me ready. He was like, you'll be fine, just get you ready.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just one of the ones.
But you did seriously well, mate. You kind of...
No, I was happy with the deadlift.
With the audience and stuff like that, but that pressure of being in a lineup like that, it's tough because I know myself, you just don't want to suck.
No, you don't.
You really raised your game, which is not everyone does that.
No, definitely. Yeah.
That's why so many people are talking about you. Guys that have experience in the sport. Myself, I've bigged you up a few times now on the channel.
You have.
Terry Hollins is talking about you, Colin Bryce and Darren. There's lots of people talking about you because you're backing up what you're talking about.
That's the main thing. That's what I want to do. I don't want to, obviously, anybody can go on Instagram and shout, "Giants, take me." And do you know what? They give us a chance. So after that, you've got to, if I'd came last, even last minute, I'd have felt like I'd thrown my chance away, but just fighting for every point. And I think we were talking about that. It's not just a strength sport, it's like they want to see you fight for it.
Yes.
They want to see you fight for every point. If you're crap at an event and you bomb it, use your 60 seconds and fight everything you've got for 60 seconds.
It then gets the crowd on your side as well. And you really had great response from the crowd as well.
Well, that was amazing.
Enjoy it.
Oh, it was crazy. See, even just everybody cheering for you in the deadlift, cheering for you in the farmers, was it myself, and the Viking press, obviously I was the last on that. And when they can see you struggling for a rep, they were behind you. It was absolutely insane.
Now, even the Viking press is probably your weakest event.
Definitely.
And you smashed out 4 reps?
Got 4 reps with 160.
You probably didn't think you were going to get a rep.
No.
It's just the letting Gav beat you on the stones. That's the one.
The one event that was a shoe-in, and I totally overthought it. I was treating these stones like they were made up, I don't know, like they were my child. They were getting placed into the holes. Oh.
Were you nervous going into the stones, or had you relaxed a bit by then?
No, once we'd done the first warm-up for deadlift, I felt a lot calmer about the rest of the day. Once we get that 400 out the way, I felt fine the rest of the day. Obviously, with a wee stand about before the stones, and it's like when we first went out, right, I was ready to do stones, and then we had to wait maybe 5-10 minutes, and it just, no excuses, I was just too gentle with them. You see a lot of guys on that platform, the stone rolls down, and then they're left in kind of limbo. Where do they load the next stone? And I was overly cautious of that. Yeah.
Mate,
learn as you go.
I honestly think you did brilliant, and I think you're going to go on and do better. You may do some shows where you underperform, but
yeah, that's it.
You just got to learn from them, and you've got all the potential to be a great strongman. Just stick with it, stay mentally strong. You've got a good team around you now, I think.
Yeah, no, everybody around me, even like obviously I've got Andy Bolton. He does my kind of squatting and deadlifts, pressing and stuff. Dale does also a bit of pressing, more kind of technique in all my events and conditioning. Before I wasn't really doing like proper conditioning, although I was running about with sandbags. I wasn't doing it within set times. I wasn't doing it so structured, It was more just a game, the conditioning, because now it's more of a, for 60 seconds, we're going to break you. Then you're going to rest for 30 seconds, then we're going to break you again for 60 seconds. Whereas before, it's like in training, sometimes you do a couple of sandbag runs and then you could spend 10 minutes catching your breath.
Sure.
You're kidding yourself on. That's not conditioning. When Dale's got you, trying to get your heart rate going, he's trying to get your heart rate going. And then obviously we've got guys like you, Terry, just so many guys, just, anything they can do to help us, offering things, offering advice. It's been fantastic.
Well,
it's been good.
You're a likable person, so it's easy to kind of want to help you. And for guys like me, we've had our time, so it's nice to see new talent coming in. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you and Terry have decided to retire, so I don't mean I can understand you helping us, but even some guys that are still, like Gavin.
Yeah.
He'll still be like walking out to an event. Have you got your tacky on? Have you got this on?
To be fair, the sport in general has always been like that. Guys tend to help each other, and it's a nice part of the sport. I think you all want to win.
Definitely.
When we compete against each other, I'd want to kick your ass, and you want to kick my ass. It's just normal.
Yeah, but for that 60 seconds, we know when the whistle blows, we're against each other.
Of course,
and that's what's nice about it. The minute the refs, blow the whistle and it's over, he's go over, he's have a wee pat in the back, everything's cool till next time.
So how was it for you seeing your fellow countryman win World's Strongest Man this year? Does that kind of motivate you?
Of course it does, yeah. I mean, when you look at Tom, I'm following the exact same path as Tom. Do you know what I mean? He won Scotland's Strongest Man. I've won Scotland's Strongest Man. He's obviously progressed to Giants. That's what I'm trying to do. Tom is literally the blueprint to get there.
Yeah.
You know, he changed up his training. He focused more on conditioning rather than just trying to get stronger. He focused on, you know, getting up early in the morning and going on an assault bike, stuff that big guys don't do.
Yeah.
You know, he started doing all that stuff. And I'm not saying he won it with ease, but when you're up against guys like Brian Shaw, they don't often have a very bad day. So he done amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
It was great to see. I think everyone enjoyed seeing him bring it home.
Yeah.
Because again, he's another nice guy.
Great guy. Absolutely great guy. It was my first time meeting Luke and Tom, both obviously on the same country and everything like that. But obviously you're never competing at the same shows yet. So having like Luke, Jesus, when I was going for the deadlifts, that's all I could hear was Luke. I couldn't hear the crowd. I couldn't hear Dale. All I could hear was Luke, rip off the floor, Andy. And I was like, okay, boss.
Luke is like the best cheerleader you can possibly have.
So, yeah, even just dead calming, you know, he's very chilled, but you know you need to kind of switch on. Yeah, it was amazing having that support as well.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So what's the goals then? Like this year, get to Britain's? Get to Britain's.
Scotland's Strongest Man, obviously. I'd love to have 2-time Scotland's Strongest Man. Obviously, this year, there's a lot of talent in Scotland. You've got Big Zachy back. You've got Paul Benton back. Don't know if you've seen about Kyle Gibson. He won the qualifier. Lewis Jack, he started going with Dale for his coaching as well. So he's a guy that maybe wasn't, again, like me, doing all the small bits. And now that Dale's got him doing the small bits, that's another guy that pieces will really fall into place for. So it'll be just, it's not going to be like turn up at Scotland's win, right, I'll see you at Brits. It's going to be turn up very focused and try very hard.
It's great to hear you kind of talk like that, to be honest, because I don't think sometimes people don't realise how high the standard in general is. You know, you go up against these top guys and they're only a little bit better. And you start realising that. And you probably realised that on the weekend. You're like...
Oh, definitely. I mean, I never in my dreams thought I'd beat Shivnikov at a Giants live show. Yeah. That's a guy off World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Shivnikov's done amazing at the Arnolds. He's, you know, done well in many international shows. Yeah. And, you know, you beat him. You're there with some of the best guys in the world. And it grows that confidence. Suddenly you go away thinking, okay, if I put 6 months hard work and I can be at that level, I can improve.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the guys that are just behind you that are going to be competing in Scotland, you're like, you've got the pressure now. You're expected they're all aiming.
That's what I mean. Yeah, 100%. I'm their target and I've got my targets.
And they are strong boys. You know, I know a number of them, and there's a few 400 kilo pullers there, some big pressers, guys that can move really well. So you're going to have to work hard. It's not like a given.
It's not a given at all.
You are going to go in as the favourite, though.
Well, I'd like, hopefully, well, I think I should be the favourite, but I'm also realistic that, you know, there is some very good all-rounders that I've not competed against.
Yeah.
Some guys I have competed against, and I kind of know how I'll do up against them. Like,
I think this will be a great test for you, because probably up until now, you haven't been the favourite.
Yeah.
You know, you go to UKs, you come to the, you know, the Giants Live, you're expected to come last. That's it.
Yeah.
Mindset. But you're such a laid-back character that you'll cope with it absolutely fine. I know. I
think that's my biggest thing. You know, I don't think you get too hyped up for anything. I think that saves a lot of energy on a day. You know, you see a lot of guys jumping about crazy for the first event, and 3 and 4 events in, they're not burnt out, but they've wasted a lot of time bigging themselves up and jumping about in the corner and banging heads off walls. And just chill, bro. It'll all be good. Just chill.
You're a good, like, you're a funny guy to be around, which is great. And
thank you.
Backstage, you can just see, you know, you switch on when it's time to switch on.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's you know, joking around with the lads, and you know, you and Gav are like a double act.
Very ugly, very heavy double act.
He's got his Mario look going on right now.
Oh, he has. He really has.
So you're
marking that.
You planning on trying to go back to UKs next year and take his time?
Yeah, I'll do everything, anything at all. You know, I'm at that stage where nothing's You know, there's just because you've went to a giant show doesn't mean they owe you anything. So, you know, so I'm not going to turn around and say to UK's, oh, I'm by doing that. And I'm not going to say to, you know, Scotland's Strongest Man, oh, I'm not coming here this year because it looks like I'm going to Brits anyway. There's absolutely no point. You want every competition's a learning curve, and every single competition I can honestly say I've walked away. Even if I've won, I've probably been disappointed because I've thought, right, here's a list of stuff to go back to Dale and Andy with, and right, why are we not doing this, or what do I need to do here? So yeah.
No, you sound really switched on. I'm sure people watching will take a lot from it because it's just a refreshing attitude to have. And I know I've spoken to you about it, but you know, and stuff. But I really think it will help you do well.
Yeah, I mean, anything that I've ever put my mind to, I know I can do it. I've got no dispute that I can do it. I know if I need to get to Brits, I will get to Brits. I'll make that happen. But I want to make it happen with a high standard. I don't want to beat Brits for a token. You know, that's not what I'm taking away for this sport. I competed at Britain's Strongest Man. I want to be the guy who dominated it. I want to be the guy who went on to Worlds and done well, hopefully chased Tom. You know, you're there to learn every single thing. And everything the guys tell you, nobody's there to bullshit you and throw you off. Everything they're telling you, you know, like even at, what we call it, grip jizz, putting a wee bit of that in your forearm so your tacky doesn't sweat through. I mean, you didn't know that your first 3 or 4 or 5 comps, you know, your tacky rubbed off your arms 2 stones in. Just everything you pick up, and
you're like a sponge right now. Just, you know,
definitely.
You're like the strongest novice on the planet. Just taking all this information.
World's strongest novice.
I mean that as a compliment. You know, you've been doing it 2 years. It's mental to see this progress, and you can see you just are so keen for it and just want to keep learning and keep getting better.
So bad, really. I had my own business years ago, and even that, I was never that passionate about that. You know, anything I've ever done, I've never really felt this. I need to succeed at this. This isn't just a hobby. It's funner than a hobby. You know, you could do it every day and never get bored of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like painting where every now and then you need to put the brush down because it's hurting your eyes. It's that you could do this, and you know, this week we're going to do the nickel stones again. It's not like it's a competition. It's not like it's just fun, innit? It's just good fun. Everything's
you know I love going up to Scotland and you know the atmosphere with those guys is brilliant. It makes me want to sort of do it again. It's brilliant to see. I saw your post on Instagram the other day. It made me laugh when you did like the weekend and then the Monday back at work kind of thing. You know,
that was rough.
Was it a big?
That was rough. So after UK's, I kind of felt it a wee bit. You know, I went back to work on the Monday or the Tuesday and long drive home, and you know, you barely had a shower and got the kids back from your mum's, and you know, that's you back to work. But see, going from Giants Live, you know, my inboxes, I had to put my phone away. Do you know what I mean? So many people you've never met, you're never going to meet, congratulating you. You've inspired them. Guys saying, "Oh, I'm going to start training." Overweight guys going, "Jesus, I'm going to do that." And then you walk into work Monday and it's, "All right, Biggin, that digger's broke. Can you hurry up?" You're like, oh.
Mate, I remember that very well. I think I'd been to about 4 or 5 World's Strongest Man contests, and then it was like back to work on the fucking Monday. And it was just such a big come down.
Oh, sorry, that was my
my
battery down. Yeah, that's me. I went back to work, way to clock in.
But I guess you want to be doing this professionally at some point.
I mean, yeah, obviously, I feel I've got that kind of passion that I don't think if it became my job, I would get bored of it. But obviously, realistically, same as anybody else, I've got a wife, I've got 3 kids, got a mortgage, and that ultimately comes first.
Of course. But
yeah, it's nice that I've been to a few comps and a couple of pain comps now, and you can kind of, you know, get a wee bit for your family for what you're doing. So it's nice that way, you know, like they've missed you that weekend, but here we've had a holiday out it. So
keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting better. Keep being entertaining. You know, that helps massively. You know, I've said this a number of times recently, and it's something I didn't do early on. I just wanted to win. I was like, focus on winning. But being entertaining helps. And I'm not saying just be entertaining. You need to be damn good, and you need to.
You need to be strong.
But when you can combine both, then you got a chance of doing this, because it's not like football where you just sign up to a team and you get an amazing contract. You got to treat yourself as a business and a brand, get bigger and bigger and better. I think your following is going to grow. I think you're going to do better and bigger things. I'm looking forward to sitting back and watching now. So
I'm looking forward to you being there to calm us down when I'm
I'll be there
myself.
Just calm you down again and
just chill, Andy. It's not that big a deal.
But mate, honestly, it's a pleasure talking to you as always.
No, thanks for having us on. Thank you.
And if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Just on the old Instagram, really. Easy enough. Andy Black. Nothing too stressful.
Remember the name.
Andy Black.
Coming.
Remember it. I'm coming from a World's Strongest Man.
Could we have 3 Scottish guys on the podium at World's Strongest Man?
Do you know what? We were, me and Tom were talking about that. Can you imagine just any Giants Live comp, a top 3 all Scottish podium? I think it's happened to England, has it? Must have done. There must, obviously apart from England's, but there must have been before, like when, like say you, Felix and Terry in your prime, there must have been a podium where.
Oh, at Britain's Strongest Man. There's been a lot. Yeah. There's been a lot of just 3 English guys at the top.
Yeah. So
there's never been 3 Scottish guys.
That would be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'd happily be the third. I could take third place in that lineup.
Third place this year, yeah.
Third place this year. Obviously, Tom better keep my trophy clean for next year. But this year, I could settle with third. Yeah.
Brilliant, buddy. I look forward to seeing it, guys. The bulldozer, the one and only Andy Black. It's a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys. We'll see you again soon.
Cheers, Loz. Cheers.
While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.